Welcome to this week's Coffee Chat. I'm here with Christian Clausen, a financial advisor at our team here at Burns Estate Planning Wealth Advisors. Today we're going to talk about an interesting subject, wealth planning. Wealth planning for the future in itself, because we've all thought about it. If you're in your 20s or 30s, you're just trying to build those assets up and still pay your bills, right? But when you get to the 50s and 60s and 70s, let's face it, we want to make sure that we are doing everything the right way, so therefore we never have to ever worry about running out of money or having issues financially later in life. Christian's going to start off with how we should be preparing for the future at any age.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we have, as we're creating a wealth plan, we want to make sure we have all the 5 areas, as part of the planning. So we want to have a team, around you. You want to have a financial planner, not just a broker, or we can go into a little bit more detail there. We want to have a tax planner, a CPA, that's very well versed, not a preparer, but like a real CPA. We want to have somebody, take care of the legal, estate planning. Want to have a master's certified estate planner with you as well.
So let's build on the first one.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through here in detail. So that's the overview in a sense. We made it kind of quick, but here's the thing. We want a financial advisor that's actually going to build you a retirement plan, an income plan, an investment plan, as well as a tax plan. And broker-dealers are great. They're great to get you to retirement, but your dollar cost average it in over the years, kind of like your 401k. You're adding money to it month after month after month. But when you're looking at retirement in the next 5 years, or you're currently retired, you want to make sure you have planners there. You want to have, because you want to have control of the accounts, and you want to reduce as much taxes as possible, and you want to have a, think about this. How much you travel now, right? How much you travel? How much time does it take you to plan that vacation? Right? Several hours sometimes, maybe a couple weeks. How much time have you spent on planning your future in your retirement? So, Christian, what's the next phase we have here? The CPA. Can you get into that? The differences there of CPAs.
Well, a lot of CPAs are just preparers. So you give them your statements, your W2, your W2, 1099s, whatever, income statements that you have, and then they plug it into a system, and then it spits out, here's your taxes. Well, you want to have somebody that's a little bit more detailed than that. You want to have somebody that looks at your investment income. How can we reduce the taxes? Different strategies. You want to have somebody that consistently, is creative and looking at how the tax code changes. Every year it changes to a certain point. You want to have a CPA that stays on top of it and make sure that you're taking advantage of all the different, tax, not necessarily loopholes, but, different ways that there's a lot of deductions out there. We want to make sure we take advantage of all of them.
And what we can do there is if you bring your 1040 in from last year or the year before, if you haven't done your taxes yet, we'll be glad to run it through our software called Plan and see if you're taking all those deductions. Because Christian's right. Think about what CPAs do. The majority of them, not all of them, majority of them are tax preparers. They're trying to basically make sure they get all their clients' taxes filed for that year on time, right? Get everything done. They don't really have time to sit down, an hour, 2 or 3 hours, really do a lot of tax planning for you in the future. So as financial advisors, my team is set up to do exactly that. We're big on tax planning, and not only for you to get your deductions, but also how to defer or build tax-free money for the future. And Christian, the next thing is estate planning.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to have, just like you have a good financial planner and a good CPA, you want to have a good attorney, and especially an elder law attorney that really focuses on estate planning. We want to make sure we have different ways that if something happens to you, that your wife or your spouse is taken care of, as well as if something happens to both you and your spouse, that your wealth actually transfers properly to the next generation.
That's right. That's right. So what we've done here years ago is we pulled an attorney into our offices. Now, he has his own office, but he gets most of our business because the fact is he wants to make sure, along with us, that you don't have any probate or succession issues in the future. And like Christian said, you want to know who you're dealing with. So when that time comes down the road that you are doing business with someone that knows how your investments work, also your estate planning works, and therefore when you pass on first, your spouse is taken care of. And then when you both pass on, the next generation, the assets go to the next generation in the manner that you wish. So we prepare all that ahead of time.
and in the least costly way. Like if you just set up a will and you pass, and the asset has to go through succession, well, there's going to be a lot of fees that you wasn't aware of. That's going to add up. So doing some planning to where you pay a little more of that up front, to where it's way less costly and a much smoother transition to the next generation.
So what our team here has at Burns Estate Planning Wealth Advisors, so we have the estate planning, the wealth management, the retirement income planning, the income planning, the tax strategy planning, and Social Security planning all in one. So everything's a circle of services that we actually do. Our big thing here is service. You can buy your own stocks and bonds and mutual funds on your own computer. But to actually have a financial plan, to build in a retirement plan, and having that team of advisors behind you is what makes us a little bit different. So, anything else, Christian?
Well, yeah, it's all about just creating a synergy, and having a team around you. And I think that's something that we do really well. Yeah, it's just having the attorneys available, the CPAs, like everything under one roof is just very good.
Very convenient. So when those unfortunate times come down the road, God forbid one of you pass on, there's one phone number to call for tax, investment, or legal. It makes it very easy for that. We've been doing this for 30 years. We hope that we can help you in the future. Look us up on the web at BurnsEstatePlanning.com.